Haru stared at the empty desk. Mizuki's absence was a gaping wound in his heart. He couldn't accept it, not like this, not without answers. Determined, he clutched the worn notebook, her last gift to him. Mizuki wouldn't want him to give up. He started his investigation at school. It was eerily quiet without her laughter. He wandered the halls, a ghost himself, searching for clues. Whispers followed him, murmurs of a curse, of a vengeful spirit. His heart pounded. Could the whispers be true? Was Mizuki trying to reach him? He remembered the day she died. Her last words, a jumbled mess about remembering. His grip tightened on the notebook. He had to unravel her final message. His eyes burned with unshed tears. He had to know, for Mizuki, for himself. School felt different, colder. Students huddled together, their faces pale and drawn. They spoke in hushed tones, their eyes darting nervously around. Haru caught snippets of their conversations. Curse, tragedy, family secret. He felt a chill run down his spine. These weren't just rumors. There was fear in their eyes, a shared terror that spoke of something real. He pressed on, seeking out anyone who knew Mizuki. An old teacher, her face etched with worry, told him about the school's dark history, a tragic accident, a family torn apart. She spoke of a curse that followed the descendants, a cycle of pain and suffering. Haru listened intently. Could this be the key to Mizuki's death? Was she another victim of this supposed curse? He had to know more. The notebook felt heavy in Haru's hands. It was filled with Mizuki's familiar handwriting, but the words were different, jumbled, frantic, like she was trying to grasp onto fading memories. He recognized some entries, memories they shared, jokes only they understood. But other passages were strange and unsettling. They spoke of shadowy figures, whispered conversations, and a darkness that clung to her family. Fear pulsed off the pages, a tangible echo of her terror. He stumbled upon a recurring name, Yurei, the ghost. Mizuki wrote of it with a mixture of fear and longing. It was connected to the accident, to the secrets her family had tried to bury. Haru's heart ached for Mizuki. She had been haunted both literally and figuratively. He had to break the cycle. He had to find Yurei. Days turned into weeks, each one a painful reminder of Mizuki's absence. Haru clung to her notebook, his only connection to her. He spent hours deciphering her fragmented memories, piecing together the puzzle of her past. One day, tucked away in a hidden pocket, he found a small leather-bound diary. It was older, the pages brittle and yellowed with age. The first entry sent a shiver down his spine. It was dated 50 years ago, signed with a name that made his blood run cold, Yurei. Yurei's diary was filled with pain and despair. She wrote of a forbidden love, a tragic accident, and a family shattered by grief. Her words were filled with regret and a longing for redemption. She believed she was cursed, fated to walk the earth as a spirit unable to find peace. Haru's mind reeled. Yurei wasn't just a name, she was real, and she was connected to Mizuki in ways he couldn't even begin to comprehend. Section 5. A family torn asunder. Yurei's diary painted a heartbreaking picture of a family ripped apart by tragedy and secrets. It spoke of two brothers madly in love with the same woman, Yurei. The brothers, once inseparable, became bitter rivals, their bond shattered by jealousy and betrayal. Then came the accident. A storm raged, mirroring the turmoil within the family. Yurei, caught in the crossfire of the brothers' feud, lost her life. Her death became a festering wound, a source of guilt and recrimination that poisoned the family for generations. Each entry in the diary brought Haru closer to understanding the depth of Mizuki's pain. She had inherited the legacy of this tragedy, the weight of her family's sins. He realized with a sickening feeling that she'd been trying to protect him from this darkness. He had to find a way to break the curse, to free Mizuki from the shackles of her family's past. He owed her that much. Armed with Yurei's diary and Mizuki's fragmented memories, Haru started to see the connections. Places mentioned in the diary held a strange familiarity. He recognized the names of Mizuki's relatives, their faces staring back at him from faded photographs. He visited the site of the accident, a crumbling cliff overlooking the sea. The wind howled like a mournful spirit, and he swore he could hear whispers on the breeze. He felt a presence there, cold and sorrowful. Was it Yurei, or was it Mizuki, reaching out from beyond the veil? He imagined Yurei standing on that cliff, her heart torn between two loves. He pictured the brothers, their faces contorted in anger and despair, and he saw Mizuki, a fragile figure caught in the web of their tragic history. He had to find a way to appease Yurei's restless spirit. He had to set her free, and in doing so, perhaps he could finally let go of Mizuki. As Haru delved deeper into the mystery, he uncovered a truth more shocking than he could have imagined. Yurei had not died in the accident. She had survived, but her spirit had been broken. The brothers, consumed by guilt and remorse, had made a pact to keep her alive, even if it meant trapping her in a prison of their own making. They hid her away, their love twisted into a possessive obsession. Yurei became a prisoner in her own home, her spirit withering under the weight of their lies. She had tried to escape, to reach out for help, but her pleas were silenced. Mizuki, as a descendant of one of the brothers, had inherited Yurei's pain and resentment. Her fragmented memories were echoes of Yurei's tormented existence, her fear a reflection of the spirit's own terror. Haru realized with a growing sense of horror that he wasn't just dealing with a ghost. He was dealing with a soul trapped in a prison of flesh and bone. Driven by a desperate need to right the wrongs of the past, Haru decided to confront the truth directly. He tracked down the last living descendant of the other brother, an elderly woman living in a secluded house on the outskirts of town. The woman, her eyes filled with a lifetime of sorrow, confirmed Haru's suspicions. She revealed the location of the house where Yurei had been kept prisoner, a place where darkness had taken root and festered for generations. As Haru approached the house, he felt a chill run down his spine. The windows were boarded up and the air hung heavy with the stench of decay. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the creaking of the wind. He knew in his heart that he was walking into the lion's den. He had to be strong for Mizuki, for Yurei, for himself. The interior of the house was dark and oppressive, the air thick with dust and the weight of forgotten memories. Haru moved through the rooms cautiously, his heart pounding in his chest. He could feel Yurei's presence, a palpable despair that clung to every surface. He found her in the attic, a frail figure huddled in the corner. Her hair was long and white, her eyes hollow and haunted. But as she looked at Haru, a flicker of recognition sparked in their depths. She reached out a trembling hand, her voice a dry rasp. You look like him." Haru listened as Yurei poured out her story, her voice thick with pain and regret. She spoke of her love for both brothers, her agony at being forced to choose, and she spoke of her relief at finally being free from her prison, both physical and emotional. As Yurei's spirit finally found peace and moved on, Haru made a promise. He would honor Mizuki's memory by fighting for the truth. He would ensure that their story and Yurei's would not be forgotten. He would keep their memory alive, a beacon of hope in the face of tragedy. He would carry their love with him always.